Oh, hi. So we're testing a new format now. Let me see if this mobile video looks a bit better on mobile. So to start off, I saw a post on LinkedIn last week. I think it was from Andrew Shotland. You should give him a follow and on social media. He's a great guy. Um, and he posted like something about SEOs writing a lot of Jira tickets and having none of their work implemented. And kind of resonates with every SEO, I believe. Um, but from experience, I should say that this usually is a problem that I see recurrently, and that over the years I've managed with some degree of success to mitigate. I would say with a good deal of success to mitigate. And having all these barriers and hurdles kind of not being roadblockers for the work that you want to implement as a head of SEO professional, SEO consultant, internal SEO specialist, whatever your role is in a business or with a business. You want your work always to kind of to be implemented. There are a lot of businesses that have busy teams and teams that are usually overloaded with work to some extent, which is normal. And being an SEO that is usually someone that comes after and throws even more work at them. And this is something that not every business accounts for, and there's a lot of moving around that needs to be done to make room for the SEO work that needs to be pushed through. So what I usually do when I come either to consult with a business or as a integrating a team or managing a team is usually have some agreements with the teams that you work with. I'm a firm believer that SEO by itself doesn't do much or anything at all. It depends on everyone else's work to be successful. It means that whatever content people are doing, you need to work with them. Whatever design people are doing, you need to work with them. Whatever engineers and developers are doing, you need to pull them aside with you and make them work together with you. So I usually do some kind of agreements with these teams in order to either enlighten them why their work should change, in order to meet an ideal state or a state where it doesn't need to be reworked after it's pushed out. So you want to maximize things being pushed out in an already optimized state or an ideal state, so to speak. And you do not want to be seen as someone that just like is the bottleneck and then kind of just writes a lot of changes that other teams need to do to work that has already been pushed out. I understand that sometimes when you come in, the work is already done, so you can only work with changes to things that are already out. And this is something that the businesses need to abide to and agree with. So by all means, have talks with the teams that are involved, but also try to carve some time and allocated development resources to SEO, because there's a lot of work in SEO that is work that is like supposed to mitigate issues or to be preventive in nature or to bring more insightful data. Like, for example, you might want to export log files to a bucket to consume in a crawler. You might want to improve your XML sitemaps and split them in a way that helps you with your needs. You might want to improve some JSON LD markup and do some changes. And all of these are things that usually do not move the needle in terms of traffic. They do not bring more clicks in a direct way, or even indirect, like log files do not bring any clicks. But these are things that will improve your work in the sense that you are more than you then are more capable to respond to questions from the business, and pinpoint more accurately where the problems lie. So it in some way makes your work as an SEO more efficient, more optimized. So, and this is what I call business as usual. And you want some time independent that is not tied to how much impact this will have kind of questions to push this through. So by any means have an agreement with product teams that there will always be this amount of hours per week from development that will be allocated for SEO, and you always have that kind of channel to push all this work. But then there is probably like major work that you want to be done that will kind of move the needle to some degree. And whereas in the beginning things are harder to push through because there's a lot of preparation work that needs to be done, you want this work to be pre-agreed with the teams that you are going to be working with, in order to mitigate the roadblocks and prevent friction with whomever is doing the work. So in order to have your work maximized, to always improve the way it's implemented, and to not to suffer so much with pushbacks, see your work as an SEO as a lens that you apply over someone else's work or everyone else's work, because SEO is just like an augmenting process, an optimizing process that, as I said, goes on top of the work that everyone else already did. So I'm fairly sure that if you guide yourself through this modus operandi, you'll have much more chances and bigger chances of your work being pushed out, rather than be sitting in Jira tickets that are in a huge queue for months and months and months and never get implemented. And you are always going to be frowned upon as the guy that kind of throws more work at the developers when they are already full of work to do. So yeah, well, I hope this helps. Let me know if you like this video better than the other ones. And thanks for watching, and pay attention.